Hi there. So today, I was wondering if I can go over desires. Desires are basically wants, not necessary, not necessarily needs. When thinking about desire, I'm reminded of a proverb, I guess. Basically, a quote, and it states this basically: desires accomplished are sweet to the soul. Yep, that's pretty much what it says. And I think I read this quote a long time ago, maybe in high school at some point, 15, 16, right around when I was looking for inspiration or spirituality. And oh, yeah, look at my shirt, Tokyo. It's a cool shirt. But yeah, desires accomplished. Basically, once you accomplished a desire, your soul feels good. So I hear a lot about desires being bad, especially when you're thinking about spirituality and being happy. Like uh, like a lot of the what do you call it? The guru type, like the meditation kind of type of guru, spirituality types. They tag desire as a kind of a negative thing. Even me, sometimes I'm like, desire kind of leads you to attachment or to something that's gonna blind you basically from the realities of life. But thinking about it, you do need desire. Desire is like one of those core things that you need to be a human. Desire is more like the love of being alive. And I noticed that in order for you to keep on living, to keep on moving on through life, you need desires. You need to have a desire. You need to want something. You need to aspire to be something or to get a thing or, to get accomplished. You need some kind of feeling that you're searching or that you're following some type of desire. And and throughout life, I think most of us live in fear of our limits of accomplishing those desires. Got something in my face. And by that I mean that a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people that have complained, oh, I don't have enough money to travel. I don't have enough money to buy the car that I want. I can't afford lunch. Like I can't afford to eat where I want to eat, that kind of thing, or to have the lunch that I like. Maybe it's not a thing about being able to afford something, but usually that's where they draw the line. Like I know food and things are not they're not necessities, and they're not going to satisfy you. But what I'm saying is that because of all these boundaries or all these limits, a lot of people live with the idea that they can't do much, or with the idea that they can't travel, or they can't, you know, they can't give it a try. And that's a scary thing, because there is a lot of people that they truly have the skills and they truly have the ability, basically, to do the things they want to do, but they don't pursue them because they don't want to fail. They don't want those limits that they think life has, or that the human mind has, or the body. They're afraid to live in fear of the limits that life, supposedly life, has. But in reality, if you really look at history and at invention and at technology and at the human progress, intelligence and creativity, if you actually research all these things, even like physiology, the body can do so many crazy things. If you research that kind of stuff, you can see that if you really open your mind, there's a lot of things that you can do as a human and with a mind. You just got to convince yourself. You don't have to live in fear of not being able to do this. So the only thing that you have to do is convince yourself that you can do it. And one good way to start that, to give yourself energy, is to have a desire. And I guess, and I don't think nature has any kind of limits. Like, so many things can be done, can be manipulated, naturally. Not naturally, but I mean, like, not in a like a vegan kind of way, but more like without having to fake it. I mean, you can get a lot of things done just by hard work and perseverance and keeping on, keeping on doing, being stubborn. As long as you're doing it, most of the work, I mean, if you stay alive, you can do it. And even if you are one of those persons that sees desire as a negative thing, basically that you don't need desires um, to be happy, I don't think that you truly understand what it means to be alive. Well, not that I do, but I mean, I think that in order for you to be alive, you need to have a desire. And even if you suppress your desires, they're still there. And I think that an unfulfilled desire is kind of like, it's kind of like being thirsty, like when you don't have water for a long time, you slowly you feel like you're dying, basically. So you don't feel happy. You can't be happy without having those desires satisfied. And I don't think the human brain has the ability to stop desiring, because I think it's more like desires are more like an instinct. In order for you to be alive, to stay alive, you have to have a certain type of desire, and the brain is, I think it was made like that. You have to want. And basically, regardless of what most people that are trying to say that, wanting and needing, you know, things is a bad thing, and it's not necessary for contentment or for being happy. I think that desire is integral, or is that a word? Is is key to being alive, to wanting to be alive, to staying alive. The desire, there needs to be a desire there, or acknowledged, basically. And one last thing, I think. So you might be wondering, okay, I get it. So you need desires to accomplish goals. You need, to keep on moving, to keep on living life. You need desires. So what happens when, kind of like when you satisfy all your desires? So what happens? So let's say your desire to have a Lamborghini or some kind of car or a house, or to accomplish your goals of going to graduate school, or finishing, even high school, or getting that job, or getting that, um, starting the family, having that family. Let's say you're in your 50s and you have your, your good family, that kind of stuff. And you're there, you're in your 50s, you've done everything you wanted to do, you have the money, you have the things, you think you have this spirituality, the good family, you help people. So what happens then? So this is when I think life, I mean, for you to feel good, and to stay alive, you need to admit to yourself that there is a desire for luxury or fancy things. Once you already once you have tried a lot of things, leisure is leisure is a desire. I mean, you desire to spend time with yourself, learning things that you want to learn, those kind of things. Once you already had that nice car, that nice house, those things don't satisfy you anymore. And I think that's because the human mind needs to keep on wanting. And once those desires are accomplished, you still have that thirst for desire. So desire is more like, it's that spark that keeps, as long as you acknowledge it, it's the spark that keeps you alive and keeps you doing things. You need that desire to do, to move, to be alive, to accomplish things, to set your goals, to succeed in your goals, to finish things. You need desire. You don't just need a goal or whatever, or you need to have energy to put in the work, basically. So I think luxury, I guess some may say fancy things, or the overindulging in things that are, expensive. You need to admit that you want that. Once you have accomplished, once you work hard, once you have had all that, the nice things. And by luxury, I don't really mean, a Ferrari or whatever. I mean like the luxuries of not needing, if it makes sense. You still need to desire something other than your needs and your wants. So that desire needs to be acknowledged in order for you to feel happy, or to feel comfortable with the way things are going, to feel like you're moving. And that's pretty much it. So again, I feel like desires are necessary. And back to that proverb, a desires accomplished are sweet to the soul. And I agree with it. Desires accomplished are sweet to the soul. It's not really about giving or taking, it's more about accomplishing desires. All right, that's pretty much it for today. Have a good one. Hey, I kept it under 20. Subscribe, dislike, like, and comment.